if you're gonna farm, you better be good, or at least decent, at a whole lot of different stuff, or have a whole lot of money to pay people, and good luck finding people to do things, because it is always something. I was getting ready to start making up strawberry land, and I backed up and hooked up to the old King disc car, and as soon as I picked it up, I noticed this gang right here wiggled in a strange way, and sure enough, I just now thought about getting the camera out, or I would have got some of the disassembly process. But there used to be some balls right inside of that little dude right there. And let's see here. I'll show you what the carrier looks like. These carriers are not all that tough. They're cast iron, and most of the time these bearings are stuck in there tight as Dick's hat band, and you have to beat the heck out of them to get them out. If they are, usually I have about decided at this point, unless they have gone out, you're better off just leave them alone, because I have went through this thing before and changed all 8 bearings, and I broke about a third, if not a half, of these carriers, because you got to beat the fool out of them things to get them bearings out. The way it works is, let me lay it down. See these 2 slots? These bearings are concave or convex. The outside of this race is convex, like this, and the inside of this carrier is concave, so these bearings have to drop in that slot that you can see there, and then they have to twist until they're straight. That's the way most pill blocks or carrier type bearings work. And if they, on a disc tar, if they hadn't went out, just leave them suckers alone, because it's a nightmare. If they've gone out, then a lot of times this will knock out fairly easy. I guess from the beating and banging, when the bearing goes out, it loosens it up or something. If not, a little trick is you can take it to the welder. Just take your whole carrier with your outer race in it to the welder and run a little bead of weld all the way around the inside of this race. And I don't know why that works. It seems counterintuitive to heat the inside part. Seems like you would heat the outside part, but I'm telling you, if you run a bead of weld all the way, a good thick bead of weld all the way around the inside of that race, that thing will darn near fall out for you. But anyhow, I'm fixing to get started making up strawberry land. We've got just a little over a month before we're going to plant strawberries, and we fumigate with medium sodium, or Vapam is the trade name, and it's a liquid that we run through the drip, and it needs about 30 days of working time. You can get by with 21 if you're in a pinch, but you probably better check it, like plant a couple plants, make sure it ain't gonna kill them before you plant your field. But we shoot for a month of time for it to work, to give it the maximum opportunity to kill all those weed seeds. That's mainly what we're after. So we're getting down here to the deadline of getting our plastic laid so we can get our fumigant ran and get our strawberries planted here in about a month. And what we're working with is some land that we had peas. Let's see, we had cantaloupes, squash, cucumbers, beans, and peas on it. And it's been burned down for a couple of weeks. I sprayed it over top, bush hogged it, sprayed over top, and then came through and lifted the plastic. The guys just finished getting up the plastic yesterday. So I got to get this stuff worked down so that we can get some fertilizer spread and get some plastic laid, because we're getting down to the wire here. But I'm gonna get this thing put back together, and hopefully the other 7 bearings will stay in it. And we're gonna go see if we can get some of this remaining residue chopped up and get ready to lay some plastic. I know my front discs are about shot. You look at my back ones, that's what they're supposed to look like. And that's what they look like now. A wise older gentleman told me one time that he was raised on the saying, use it up, wear it out, make it last, or do without. And I tell you what, in 2026, if you're trying to farm for a living, them's words to live by. I got the field edges worked down, which is always the roughest part after you've picked up or lifted plastic, because the big gouges from the plastic lifter dropping in, and then the big clods that roll out at the ends of the rows. So I've got that slicked down, and I've got part of the field over here done. What I'm doing is I'm going at so the rows ran this direction, and I am disking it this direction. It works fair to go straight across, like perpendicular, but good Lord, it's rough ride and rough on equipment. So I have found that it works just as good, if not maybe a little bit better, to go at a slight angle, because you can see down through here right straight in the direction that the rows ran. You can't even tell where the rows were, and over here you can clearly see just about every row. So I mean, it's just cutting them out pretty good, and this is one pass. We'll get out here and look at it. So the drive rows right here is a drive row or a spray road. This is going to be a problem. This residue, it was sprayed, but where this ground's just so darn hard and this grass is so hard to kill, this is going to give me a little bit of a fit laying plastic. But the rest of the field, where it's just crop residue, is chopping up pretty dang nice. I mean, by the time I run over this about 2 more times, there ain't gonna be enough of this left to make one bit of difference. Soil moisture is good, working up nice. So we are going to cut back on strawberries just a little bit this year. We have been doing 2 acres of strawberries for several years now, right at 2 acres. This year strawberries just didn't, it was a decent strawberry year, but they just didn't move as well as I would have liked for them to. And strawberries just do not sell good if they are a day old. If you can't sell them the day you pick them, then it's really tough to get rid of them. So just trying to find that sweet spot for us of exactly what we need to sell every single one of them in no larger quantity than by the gallon. So we're going to cut back a little bit. I think we're going to end up needing about 27 rows down through here at 300 foot long. don't remember exactly off the top of my head right now how many feet of plastic that is. With our spacing, we put about 8,000 feet of plastic mulch row to the acre. That worked down really nice. It's a little bit tacky down through here in the where you don't get any afternoon sun. The shady part of the field is a little damper than I would have liked, but this up through here is perfect, and the residue is chopped up down to nothing. I don't know if I'm gonna run a disc back over this or not. Tomorrow is Thursday, and Friday we have got an 80% chance of thunderstorms. That could be, the weather is so, the weather forecast seems to be so unreliable lately. Who knows what that 80% chance thunderstorms will materialize into, but I'm gonna act like it's gonna rain, and I'm gonna bust my butt and try to get all of this done and plastic laid and slicked down 100% before we get to Friday afternoon. That's my goal. I'm gonna try to make a little, like maybe a 3-part series or something out of this. So, and I'm gonna try to get them out one right after the other pretty quick. So y'all stay tuned. I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna start by broadcasting, well, measuring and making sure I got my rows figured out just right, of how long they're gonna be and how many I need for the amount of plants I've got. And then we're going to spread my 8/16/24 Super Rainbow fertilizer out here, and probably pull a chisel plow over it next, because some of these, there's so much field traffic, and these spray roads in particular, when we lay strawberry plastic, we don't leave spray roads. We plant them solid. There's no need in me wasting that 10-foot wide strip of the field. So we will omit the spray roads when it comes to strawberries. And them spray roads are going to be hard as a dickens. So I need to chisel plow. I've got to chisel plow the spray roads anyway. And usually there's so much field traffic, like foot traffic, that you end up with a pretty significant hard pan. So I'm gonna chisel plow this and work the fertilizer in with the chisel plow. We might hit it one more time with the disc, and we're gonna start laying some plastic. So y'all stay tuned, and I will see y'all on the next piece of this thing. Appreciate y'all.